All right, Karlos, we're going to take it to the ice. We're going to talk about your New York Rangers. Rough times for the Blue Shirts. I hear the sigh. And why is it rough, folks? The Blue Shirts, they've lost 13 of their last 17 games. They're tied for last in the division with the Islanders right now. So first of all, what is wrong with the Rangers right now? And what direction should the organization go in at this point? Because when I talk to Rangers fans and people around and covering the team, that is the question. All right, where's this team? What are they going to do? Are they going to stick with it? Are they going to try to continue winning? Should they blow it up? So two-part question for you. What's wrong with the team, and what's the direction they should choose right now?
There's something inherently wrong with the core of this team. The championship window has closed. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to look at realistic expectations. What you saw last year is not what you're obviously seeing this year. At some point, you have to look at the roster composition for this. Chris Drury has attempted it. This has been a swing and a miss. Mika Zibanejad has not played it to the expectations that people thought they were going to be. You spent an entire offseason trying to move Jacob Trouba. Thankfully, you found a suitor in Anaheim in order to get some picks back for that. But Cabo Caco was another problem, according to Peter Laviolette. Now he's been shipped to Seattle. So the core of the players, it's just not working anymore. And unfortunately, the next domino that's going to fall, it's going to be Peter Laviolette. The Rangers are going to fire him. And that's just what this core does. They've gotten David Quinn fired. They've gotten Gerard Gallant fired. Maybe the message is getting too stale. But if you're Peter Laviolette, you are counting your days right now, because you can't trade the entire roster overnight if you think that you're going to contend in a very small window. So what Jim Dolan and Chris Drury are going to have to do is, is there a better option out there? And there might be. Not without controversy, but if they decide to pull the trigger and move on for Laviolette, there is a name right now that could come in and maybe sort of right the ship without changing too many of your pieces right now.
I would ask you, who's that name?
Joe Quenneville. There's not often a time that you will get a head coach out there that's won 3 Stanley Cups. Now, this comes obviously off of the heels of the Chicago Blackhawks scandal, where there's sexual harassment and tons of stuff we don't want to get into there. But his track record is his track record. Again, 3 Stanley Cups compared to Laviolette's 1. Maybe it's not the move that you want to make, but Detroit is looking at a head coach possibility there. So Quenneville is not a matter of when, it's just going to be if and how soon and which team it's going to be. So that's the name. I think if they're going to make a head coach at the Rangers, that's the way they want to go. But you asked me earlier, what would I do?
Yeah, what direction would you go?
I would blow this whole thing up.
You blow it up?
I'd blow this whole thing up. If you can find a buyer for Artemi Panarin, if that's the contract that you would want to move. Right now, his timeline does not match what the Rangers are going to be doing. Right now, at the very best, the Rangers are looking at a retool. But realistically, at its worst, you're looking at a rebuild. So now Chris Drury, whether it's going to be him or a future general manager that has to kind of sift through all of this, the current players that are stars, that are contributing and to a win-now team, those are the players that you're going to have to move on from. Now, Keandre Miller is a little young, so maybe there's some possibility there. You want to move on from him too quickly. But Artemi Panarin could be on the move. What type of haul can you get for Adam Fox? These are things that I would start to ask. You paid Igor. My only concern with paying Igor is, Rangers fans, we've been in this position before. You have a goalie that can stand on your head every single night with not that much help in front of it. We saw it with Hank. I don't want to see it with Igor. So the best thing for the Rangers to do right now, blow this whole thing up, get as much picks and as much young talent as you can get from your, I don't want to say aging superstars, but you guys are a little longer in the tooth that won't be here for rebuilding long.